Chael Sonnen has sent shockwaves through the MMA community with a brutal warning for Conor McGregor. In his signature no-holds-barred style, Sonnen declared that if the Notorious makes a UFC comeback, he'll be obliterated by today's lightweight killers. He stated, "There's an ass-whipping waiting for you," emphasizing the challenges McGregor would face against today's elite fighters. McGregor has been absent from the octagon since his injury during the trilogy fight against Dustin Poirier in 2021. During this hiatus, he has ventured into business endeavors, notably co-owning the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, BKFC. His active promotion of BKFC events, including interventions during weigh-ins, has kept him in the public eye. And now, McGregor is seemingly open to the possibility of segueing into politics, with an effort to become the Irish president. In a recent Twitter post, the fighter opened up about some of the ideas he'd wish to implement if he were to take the reins of the European nation. "As president, I hold the power to summon the dial as well as dissolve it. So as I said before, I would have all the answers the people of Ireland seek from these thieves of the working man, these disruptors of the family unit, these destructors of small businesses, and on and on and on." He further added, "These charlatans in their positions of power would be summoned to answer to the people of Ireland, and I would have it done by day end, or I would be left with no choice but to dissolve the dial entirely. Stop the train until the people of Ireland deserve the answers they seek, point blank. This would be my power as president." He continued optimistically, "I know very well, Ireland needs an active president employed wholly by the people of Ireland. It is me. I am the only logical choice. 2025 is upcoming." A fan replied instantly to this announcement, "Conor, if you can tackle politics as well as you tackle in the octagon, we might be in for a knockout in Dial Iran. Ireland needs a fighter indeed." However, UFC legend Chael Sonnen isn't convinced that that's the main reason for McGregor's recent retirement hint. He said, "I don't even mean that to be a jerk. When they bring him back, they put him in a main event. All of a sudden, you're asking him to do 5 rounds. We've got a guy who can't breathe for a full round. This is just a reality. There's nothing to come back for. There's no reason to come back." Several notable figures in the MMA community have expressed their views on Conor McGregor's recent activities and potential return to the UFC. Michael Chandler, a prominent UFC lightweight contender, has been vocal about his desire to face Conor McGregor in the octagon. Their anticipated bout was initially set following their coaching roles on The Ultimate Fighter, Season 31, but McGregor's withdrawal due to a broken toe led to its cancellation.
Yeah, I mean, he's making that push for the president of Ireland. You know, we'll see how true it is, how real it is, how much of a publicity stunt it is. As you guys can see, obviously, you know, we had the Tough 31 deal, waited for Conor for a little bit, got the fight booked, he pulled out of the fight. Who knows if he's ever coming back? But you can see by my actions, fighting Oliveira in November and now Paddy in April, I'm not sitting around waiting for Conor. He knows his road back to the UFC goes through me. We have to finish the Ultimate Fighter 31. We still have a contract with both of our names on it, even though he was not a man of his word in showing up.
In light of McGregor's recent hints at retirement and his expressed interest in pursuing the Irish presidency, Chandler has shared his perspective on the situation. He emphasized that if McGregor chooses to return to the UFC, a fight between them is imperative, stating he knows his road back to the UFC goes through me. Despite the uncertainties surrounding McGregor's future, Chandler remains focused on his own career trajectory. He is slated to fight Paddy Pimblett at UFC 314 on April 12th. Chandler has indicated plans to call out McGregor post-fight, aiming to reignite interest in their previously scheduled matchup.
First time he has ever pulled out of a fight was against me in his entire career, so I don't think he wants that to be his legacy. However, if he does, I wish him well in his presidency run in Ireland, and but if he comes back to the UFC, he's got to fight me.
Chandler's reactions underscore his commitment to securing a bout with McGregor, viewing it as a pivotal moment in his career. He continues to prepare diligently, undeterred by the ambiguity of McGregor's intentions, and remains poised for opportunities that may arise in the evolving landscape of the UFC. Daniel Cormier, a former UFC double champion and current commentator, has expressed skepticism regarding Conor McGregor's potential return to the UFC, citing the Irish fighter's recent political ambitions and prolonged absence from the octagon. Cormier highlighted McGregor's announcement of his intention to run for the presidency of Ireland, viewing this as a significant shift away from his fighting career. He remarked, "Conor is a politician, dog. This has to be some sort of joke, right? Oh my god, why is he at the White House?" What's going on? I'm ready to admit I think it's over, bro. I think I'm ready to admit he's done, bro. Daniel Cormier, in his talk with Ben Askren, spoke about a fighter of McGregor's capability who should have instead been seen in the ring fighting and not in any other form. For me, it's kind of sad because it is. It's like when a guy comes and he's that successful and he's that good, you hope that the last time you see him in the octagon is him fighting, even if it's him losing. You don't want the last memory is him sitting in the octagon with a broken leg yelling at Dustin Poirier's wife. Cormier also reflected on McGregor's last UFC appearance in 2021, where he suffered a severe leg injury against Dustin Poirier. He expressed a desire for McGregor to return to the octagon to conclude his career on a more positive note, stating, "You hope that the last time you see him in the octagon is him fighting." Additionally, Cormier found McGregor's political aspirations unexpected, questioning the level of support he might receive in Ireland. He commented, "To be a politician, he wants to be a politician. Hell, I think people in Ireland don't even like him." These observations underscore Cormier's doubts about McGregor's commitment to returning to professional fighting, given his current focus on political endeavors and time away from the sport. Moving on, McGregor's recent political endeavors have been met with significant resistance from Irish politicians, highlighting a stark divide between his aspirations and the nation's political establishment. A comprehensive survey conducted by Sky News revealed that not a single one of 134 Irish politicians surveyed would support McGregor's presidential bid. Responses ranged from "not a hope in hell" to "I could not think of anyone more unfit," with some politicians expressing strong disapproval of his suitability for public office.
0 said they would support a McGregor run. "Not a hope in hell," said one cabinet minister. Others described McGregor as a tacky, moronic vulgarian and a populist buffoon. "Couldn't think of anyone worse," said one, while another added, on behalf of the women of Ireland, "he can f*** off."
McGregor's public comments, including his meeting with US President Donald Trump, have further alienated Irish political figures. During this meeting, McGregor criticized the Irish government's policies, particularly concerning immigration, suggesting that illegal immigration was adversely affecting rural communities. These remarks were met with sharp criticism from leaders such as Prime Minister Michal Martin, who emphasized that McGregor's views did not reflect the sentiments of the Irish populace. Furthermore, the media has played a significant role in shaping public perception of McGregor's political ambitions. Coverage of his actions, including his visit to the White House and subsequent criticisms of the Irish government, has been extensive. While some international media outlets have provided platforms for McGregor's views, the predominant narrative within Ireland remains one of skepticism and disapproval. Despite his fame and influence in the sports world, his political aspirations appear to be at odds with the values and expectations of Ireland's political establishment. This disconnect underscores the challenges public figures may face when transitioning from sports to politics, especially when their views diverge significantly from mainstream political thought. UFC veteran Matt Brown has also shared his perspective on Conor McGregor's recent actions, emphasizing that McGregor's intentions to retire early were evident from the start of his career. Brown recalled McGregor's statements from a decade ago, where the Irish fighter expressed his plan to enter the sport, achieve dominance, accumulate wealth, and then exit. "He told us like 10 years ago what he was going to do," Brown said on the latest episode of The Fighter vs. the Writer. "Do you remember him talking about it? I'm going to come in, I'm going to take over, I'm going to make money, and then I'm going to get the out." He said something along the lines of, "This game is brutal, you don't want to be in it too long." He told us however many 8 or 10 years ago. He literally told us, and he has done it. Reflecting on McGregor's current endeavors, including his political ambitions and involvement in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, BKFC, Brown noted that McGregor has effectively maintained public interest without returning to active competition. He observed, "He loves being in the news. He loves staying relevant and putting his 2 cents into everything." Brown's insight suggests that McGregor's recent focus on politics and promotion aligns with his long-term plans, reinforcing the notion that his fighting career may have concluded as anticipated. Dana White, the UFC president, recently discussed Conor McGregor's potential return to the octagon. While the two didn't meet up during an event in Sturgis, White confirmed they had a conversation about McGregor's desire to fight again. However, White clarified that McGregor wouldn't be making his comeback in 2025.
I saw that you and Conor were both in Sturgis. I'm wondering if you guys met at all and talked about the potential of his fight as well?
We talked, yeah. We talked. We didn't meet up, but we talked. And yeah, he wants to fight, so we'll figure it out.
Soon? This by the end
Not
of
this
year?
year. He won't fight this year.
This marks another chapter in McGregor's career, with fans and analysts eagerly awaiting the timeline for his return. White's comments reflect ongoing negotiations and the uncertainty surrounding McGregor's future in the UFC, leaving many wondering when the former champion will finally step back into the octagon. Conor McGregor's potential return to the UFC presents a complex dilemma for the organization, balancing his undeniable star power against concerns about his competitiveness in the octagon. McGregor's influence extends beyond the sport of MMA. He's a global icon whose presence guarantees heightened media attention and substantial pay-per-view sales. His ventures, such as the Proper Number 12 whiskey brand, have further cemented his status as a marketable personality. A recent showcase of his lavish lifestyle, including a tour of his 38 million pound private jet, underscores his celebrity status. Despite his marketability, McGregor's recent performances raise questions about his competitiveness. After a series of losses, including a broken leg in his last fight in 2021, his inactivity has been notable. Attempts to schedule a comeback, such as a fight against Michael Chandler at UFC 303, were marred by injuries, leading to cancellations. The UFC faces a strategic choice: capitalize on McGregor's star power by featuring him in high-profile bouts, potentially at the expense of competitive balance, or focus on promoting fighters who offer a higher likelihood of in-octagon success. This decision impacts not only the organization's brand, but also the integrity of its competitive landscape. Fans are divided. Some are eager for McGregor's return, while others question its merit given his recent inactivity. One of the fans responded to Sonnen's remarks on 10X. Despite the skepticism, McGregor remains in the spotlight, not only in MMA, but in the business world too. McGregor is part owner of BKFC and has become quite the promoter these days. While he's not staking his claim to become the next president of Ireland, the UFC superstar is off traveling the world to promote bare-knuckle boxing and make good on another lucrative investment. Most recently, a fan confrontation in Dubai proved that his fame continues to draw attention. McGregor was recently involved in a public incident in Dubai where a fan attempted to approach him. Security personnel swiftly intervened, escorting the individual away from McGregor. This incident adds to McGregor's history of public confrontations, including a notable case in Miami Beach in 2019, where he was accused of smashing a fan's phone. Despite such controversies, McGregor continues to be a central figure in the MMA world, with fans and media closely following his every move. In summary, McGregor's potential return encapsulates the tension between leveraging star power for financial gain and maintaining a competitive, merit-based environment. The UFC's approach will have lasting implications for its brand, fighter dynamics, and fan engagement.